Today, we are going to discuss about teaching adults anything. The topic actually is training from back of the room. As you already know that the way it was actually put on the LinkedIn. However, I'm going to take the first step towards it today. So let's learn how teaching happens in adults and how do adults want to learn things or they like. So there are 4 steps. And yes, I'm thanking Sharon Bauman here because this presentation is basically built on her presentation. Some of the slides I'm reusing from her own presentations. Yeah, so anyone who are more interested to know about it, the TBR, training from back of the room, is a technique invented and shared by Sharon Bauman. And it's a really, really good technique. Why I got to know about this particular technique is because, especially in the scenarios wherein we are teaching adults, I generally get a lot of feedback. So since 2015, I started getting feedbacks in the learning, and then I started changing. In this process, I actually got to know something about TBR, training from back of the room, and Sharon Bauman. I bought a book, and then I also did a short course somewhere. And from that, I started inducing these practices in my training, and it really helped me. Also, especially in the online version. So the trainings that I used to give earlier, maybe about 2 years back, and what is there today, there's a lot of difference, a lot of enjoyment, even in online sessions. So that's why I wanted to share with this particular technique with you people. So thank you so much. So what do you already know about TBR in this room? You must be already aware. Ashutosh, thanks for starting your camera. Ashutosh, Rakesh sir, Sid, Jaskirat, Prudvi, Casey, Shreya. What do you know already about TBR? Training from back of the room. No problem. If you're speaking, maybe you're on mute. So yes, you would definitely need a pen and paper because there would be certain notes taking that would happen. I know there are various people who are taking trainings, and that's your profession too. I hope this session would make some help in your profession. So let's learn about how adults learn. That's the first step towards TBR. So I'm definitely not going absolutely into TBR as of today. That we might go into second or third sessions. We are just learning about how adults learn today. So if you have pen and paper ready, please take it with you. If not, maybe you can also make use of your screen, notepad or something. Yeah, so that's going to help you. Yes, so I'm going to ask you certain questions too. Okay, so read the statement here. Adults remember what they write better than what the instructor writes. Okay, and that's why I want you guys to have pen and paper with you. Okay, so if you do not have pen and paper, start your notepad. Okay, because the very first principle about adults remember what they write better than what the instructor writes. Okay, and hence you will remember what you write better than you read. So it means if the instructor writes on the board is not so impactful, if he or she makes you write on your notepad is more impactful because your brain remembers what you write rather than what you read. Okay. Any questions? Any comments? Any experiences?
May I, my observation of my learning days, engineering before.
Yeah.
During the exam, mostly I used to consult my notes only, not the books. And that is what really helps.
Definitely, your writing helps. Even if you read someone else's notes, even though it is the best notes in the world, definitely that's not going to help. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Since you mentioned that somebody else's note, I remember I was in Germany and learning testing at that time PCBs. And used to sit with the people who were testing, and they used to make notes whenever they have problem and what they solve. And I said, can I make a copy? He said, yes, you can make a copy, but this problem may not occur. You might have different problems. So you have to be alert in any case.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. So write the first thing. What do you already know about how the adults learn? Write 1 or 2 facts. As Rakesh sir told something, whatever facts you know about adult learning, I'm not saying about kids learning. So what facts you already know about? I'm going to ask you. Yes, I'm waiting for you.
I have written observing and experiencing make me learn.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, Sharvari has raised hand.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so by doing something, doing practical of it. So having your own experience.
Absolutely. Very good. Very good. Does it make sense? Rakesh sir, do you agree? Experimenting with it?
Yes, that is the first step.
Definitely. And what I did right now is also the first principle of learning. I'm asking you, I'm connecting you with the topic. Rather than me telling you the whole thing about topic, saying so many words, I'm asking you about the topic, what you already know. So any topic that you're teaching people, ask them the very first thing, what do they already know? That's the connection that you're making. Yeah. I also know about Ashutosh, one of the greatest presenter, and he also does these things. So you just connect it to prior learning, right? What is your prior learning about the topic? Yeah. So I'm not giving you the new knowledge. I'm asking you the first thing is about what you already know about the topic. Okay. Quick write. Second thing, what do you want to learn from this presentation today? Write a sentence describing it. What do you want to learn from today's presentation? Okay, can anybody tell me what is that you have written?
Can I say?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Why adult ways are different than the young ones when they learn.
Okay, good. Anybody else? What do you want to learn from today's presentation? Yes. Okay.
So maybe maybe I can go. Can
yes,
I go?
yes, please. Yes, please.
So what is TBR all about? Maybe that is what I would like to learn.
Sure. What is TBR all about? Very good. Sure. Anybody else? Okay. So before going ahead and answering your question, what I have done, the first step, I asked you, what do you already know about the topic? Okay. So I made you talk. rather than having a very jazzy connectors or making the room stand up and do blah, 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 blah. I just asked you, what do you already know about the topic? The first thing, connected with the topic. The second thing, I'm asking you to write the goal that you want to learn from this. So making a connection with your goal, that's a second step. Okay. Yeah. So what we did right now, you just created your personal goal. What you know and where you want to go. There are 2 points, point A and point B. Okay. So yeah, since you have asked this question, what is the difference between adult learning and the kids learning? So kids typically have their brain, that's a slate, is absolutely clean many a times. They can accept whatever you teach them because they see you as an experienced person and they know that they do not know many things. Okay. But the way they start growing older, they would start questioning what you're teaching. And especially adults, they have a lot of learnings. And hence, you know that kids, the way they behave for a smaller things, they enjoy the drops, the raindrops coming in and the bubbles forming, and they just go and want to break it off. I just seen my nephew today doing it. But me, I know that happens. That's very obvious for me. So the way I behave is absolutely different because I have certain experiences. Okay. So, and hence I'm connecting you with your own experiences and then connecting with the goal. Yeah. To Ashutosh, to your answer, TBR, to connect with the adults is a different technique altogether. And creating an experience, okay, giving them chance to speak more and more rather than a trainer speaking. TBR is a technique of no slides, no presentations. So we are using presentation here. It's the best way is no presentation. Maybe people learning by doing things, as Sharvari said, learning by experimenting. This is the way. Yeah. So TBR is that technique. There are C1 to C4. There are 4 techniques that will come in the subsequent presentations. Okay. Yes. So now you have connected with your goal. So Rakesh sir and Ashutosh, now I asked you what is your goal and you have written. That's a step number 2. When you are teaching people, number 1, connect them to the topic by asking them what do they already know. Number 2, asking them what you want to learn from this. Okay. And rather than just asking, I'm going to that step now. So what we have done until now, step 1 and step 2, you have made 2 connections to your learning. You have given chance to adults to speak them because, Rakesh sir, now your question. Because adults know so many things about the topics already and they have their own experiences, and where you are respecting them as a trainer, teacher, presenter to their own experiences. The moment you give them a chance to speak out, they feel really good about it. It is not the same principle in kids. That's way it is a little different. Yeah. Okay. So you have made already 2 connections. Connections are the keys to adult learning.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
You mentioned kids are different in the different ways.
Yes.
But I think the teacher would make them also talk in whatever way possible.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you well. Can you repeat
that? I think
for me?
even while teaching the kids, the teachers does make them talk.
Yes.
Or do things.
Yes, because the first principle, if if people write or people speak, that registration happens because that revision happens only when you do certain things. So even for kids, revision is more and more important. If you see teachers, they revise the same thing again and again. They repeat. However, you won't be able to repeat, or you shouldn't repeat in adults learning. Otherwise, they will feel differently. Yeah, so there's a technique difference here, okay? Connections are the keys for adult learning. Okay, so step one, get them connected. That's what we have done. How did you get connected? I'm asking you guys. How did you get them connected? What I did for the first step? Can anybody answer what I did the first step?
Ask the question what they know about the topic.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you, Prudvi. I asked you guys.
What they know and what they don't know, correct? I think what they want to know. Am I correct, Vijay?
Yes, the first step is what they already know. Okay, let's keep it positive. Okay, what do they already know about the topic that you are teaching? Okay, that's the first step. And the second one was get them connected. That's what you did to the content. How did you connect to the content? By asking them what do they already know. However, in the adult learning, many a times what happens is you will have to disconnect with something. Like if there are 10 different people might say something which may not be absolutely true. So sometimes there are misinformation, so that you may like to say, no, this is not right or wrong, because you are a teacher, you are the content authority. But when do you exercise that? You will have to see. Don't do it right away then and there. Otherwise, you will actually disconnect with those people whom you are actually saying, no, this is not the way you are telling. There is also a way to tell. Okay. You are connecting to the content. Now, second things, while you are connecting to the topic, also connect at least 2 individuals amongst your trainees or the people who are present in your presentation. How would you do that?
You have done it because you have asked us to do something and we did it. We also spoke.
Okay.
So you have done it already.
No, I'm going to do it now. So Ashutosh, you are around?
Yes, I'm there. Yes.
Okay. So we will behave as if we are sitting in a room, and you also behave as if you are sitting in a room. So
okay.
I'm making a pair. Ashutosh, whatever you know about this topic already, you share it with Rakesh, and Rakesh will share it with you. Before that, you introduce to Rakesh who you are, a little bit of introduction, and Rakesh, you also introduce and then tell what you already know about this topic. Please go ahead.
Vijay, is it something similar to icebreaker, something like that? Is that correct?
Yes, icebreakers are of different types.
Okay.
Okay, so I am actually minimizing the focus here rather than having icebreakers are like numerous types. Like you can just jump at your place without talking to different people, and
okay.
I can make you laugh. But here I'm making a connection to the topic rather than, you can, trainers generally have very interesting icebreakers, but that doesn't really connect to the topic. So what I'm doing right now is, Ashutosh, please introduce yourself to Rakesh and tell what you already know about the topic, and Rakesh will do so in return very quickly, please.
Okay, sure. So Rakesh sir, if you permit, can I introduce first myself?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Ashutosh Bhatodekar here, Rakesh sir, working as an enterprise agile coach, a coach and a consultant. Okay, what I know about training from the back of the room, yes, apart from the fact that it has been developed by Sharon Bowman, is the 4C model, what she talks about. Connection, concept, concrete practice, I think is the third one, and conclusion. So what she says is that, as Vijay was also mentioning earlier, it's more about how do we keep the engagement level high in this training. This is a unique way of conducting training program where we cut across these 4Cs and try to keep the engagement level high and the interaction level high. So that is what I know. And now you can go ahead, sir.
Ashutosh, Rakesh here. Maybe you already know, but I want to tell you, since 2003, I am away from regular employment. And I enjoy talking to the people and discussing in writing or chatting. As regards with the topic, what I feel here more is sharing experience. And that is why when the teachers narrate the story about the topic, how they experienced it, then it imbibes much better. This is my personal thought. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Vijay.
Awesome. Thank you. So what has happened now? Number one, I made you sure what you already know, the connect to the topic. And I also made you connect to Rakesh sir and vice versa. Now I made this training room very interesting for you because you got to know some other person. People are generally interested in knowing other people. And that's why Facebook is making lots of benefit, right? People are interested in other people. So I made two different connections here. Connection to the topic. And now when you go on to a break, you would go ahead and talk to Rakesh sir. The moment you talk to Rakesh sir, some way or the other way, you might talk also about the topic.
Got it.
Yeah? Okay, sure. So Vijay, as you asked, so this is the way. It is a little different than typical icebreakers. Yeah, icebreaker is you may make people speak, but what I'm doing right now here is I'm making people speak about the topic and connecting them. So this is more focused towards the topic. Okay.
Okay, noted.
Sure. So this is just a presentation what you did. Okay. Now, how can you do this? There are different ways, like quick write a sentence describing what you want to learn about the goal and tell your table group what you wrote. Okay. Also make them speak on the table that, hey guys, what you have written, just tell them. This is one of the way. Pair share as I did right now. Okay. For the first principle. Okay. Ashutosh, if you are speaking, you're on mute. Okay.
No, I was just saying that I like that exercise. I mean, I was just wanted to say that. Yeah. So thanks for it. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. So pair share is something that we did. Okay. And then markups. Read the list of learning objectives, circle the one most important. So if you have written 10 out of that, just circle the most important thing. So what we are doing here, we are doing adults do some exercise about the topic. I'm jumping onto the topic rather than going into jazzy, exercises that Vijay that you are referring, no? So there are certain jazzy exercises. Rather than doing that, I'm connecting people right away to the topic and the goal that they want to learn. Okay. Question. What is the step number 1? What is the step number 1?
Get them connected, correct? That's what you said.
Connect to what? Connect to topic by asking them what do they already know about the topic, right?
Yes.
Second, step 2 is show and tell. In the sense, what is that you want to learn from this topic? Show and tell. Show to your team members and tell, or show to your trainer and tell. Majority of the time, the idea is to make the movement across the tables. So not one person. If you ask one individual from your training room, what would happen? One person would be talking to you. You would be focusing on that person, and rest of the people would be just stable. And the stability for too long time, you know what happens? Yeah. Okay. What happens? If you're stable on your chair for a long time, what happens?
You feel bored up.
Yes. Why you feel bored up? There is a scientific reason to it.
You are not connected to the topic.
What else?
Comparatively, brain is idle. Comparative.
If you are stable for longer time, your body tells your brain, I don't need much of oxygen. And brain for thinking needs more and more oxygen. Okay, sure, that's why. Show, use images to teach the content rather than the text. You all agree? How many of you people make use of images on slides rather than having contents? Sometimes not a single text. I started using only images many times on my slides. So I was training and teaching since 2015 in the open environment to different organizations. So when I actually teach people at different levels, so I have also trained some of the CEOs and CFOs. My content and the delivery style is different. When I teach the middle management, my content delivery is different. When I teach the freshers, my content delivery is different. But definitely from 2015 towards this date, the text on my slide is gradually reducing and sometimes reducing even to zero on some of the slides. This is what TBR has made me as a trainer. Okay. So images are anything visual. Stories, case studies, metaphors, analogies, demonstrations, skits, as well as photos, props, icons, cartoons, graphics, blah, 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 blah. You can read it. Okay. So anything. Now and ask them to tell. Tell what you have learned, or tell what is your goal. Do you see the image behind is connecting to what I'm saying? Tell. Okay, so those lions are spitting out, speaking. But remember, the more you talk, the less they learn. As a trainer, if you talk more, they will learn less. It's the inverse principle. Now a question. Which item in the list below do not include images? Because we are speaking of showing images, right? Images helps the teaching more. I want answers from you.
The first one, slides with bulleted lists.
Okay. Anybody else now? The second answer.
You put which items correct. So the first one, the last one, yeah. Text only, handouts and charts.
Almost all the items.
Other than second, actually, because you put handout that include photos, so it explicitly says it has photo.
Okay. So if you explicitly photos, if you actually see, if you tell personal stories, what happens? Vijay, if you start telling someone an interesting story, what happens?
I don't think so. We put image there. The chances are less.
Very good. You are not putting images on the slides or on the wall, but you are putting images in the minds of people. You're telling an interesting story. Now people start relating. Some images start coming in the moment you say garden. I was in garden. People start imaging there's a garden, green trees and so many things. If you say garden, nobody remembers like you are in Rajasthan and there's just sand. Nobody. There are some images coming in, right?
Based on their past experience.
Exactly.
What they
exactly. Exactly. So slides with bulleted lists and verbal facts about the topic. Verbal facts. It's a factophile. No story associated with it. Okay.
I think other than number 2, everything is no images actually.
Yeah. Text only, handouts and charts. There's no image, right?
Yeah. But chart can be an image, correct? Maybe we create image of the charts. We take it from different. So yeah, that was another way of looking at it. Yeah.
Yes, good. Stop. Write step 2 in your notes. What was step 2?
Ask the trainees what is the expectation of.
Absolutely. Creation of a goal. Yeah, very good. Thank you. So that was just a remembrance. Now sit back and stretch. Ask them to do. Everyone do this. Everyone do this. Stretch back. Everyone. Yes. People, I can't see you, but stretch back. Okay. Or any other exercise that you can tell people, because the moment you tell people to stretch, body asks the brain that I need more oxygen. Okay. The more oxygen pumps in, just get stable, and that oxygen supply would help brain to work. Okay. Do this. Sometimes people might feel what this trainer is doing, but you know what you're doing. Okay. Step 3, let them do it. Now you have asked them, stretch, more and more oxygen has come. They're more energetic now. Let them do it. That's the exercise. Okay. Albert Einstein once said, all learning is experience. Everything else is just information. If you are agree, please raise your hand. Awesome. I see 2 hands raised. Thank you. Some people may not be knowing how to raise hands. So yes, 4, 5. Okay. Anybody in the room can tell others how to raise the hand? Rakesh sir, can you tell? Yes.
Yeah, you can go on the reaction button and there's an option there. Just, I mean, people who are not able to raise hand, is a reaction button. Just click on it and there's an option, raise hand.
So people using Apple kind of system, there are 3 dots and more. In that more, you click reactions. Okay, and there is raise hand button. So the question is, didn't I know how to raise hand, guys? I know it, but what I made a choice from the people who knows. I asked them to tell other people, helping connections. Okay, yeah. Practice makes removed man or women. So perfect, right? Have you heard this?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's the reason in childhood, correct? Rather than just reading, ask them to, like, if you write it once, it's equivalent to 10 times. And practice makes, maybe, especially math, correct? We need to practice different sum. Yeah.
Exactly. So now changed it to practice makes permanent. So since we are discussing about learning, if you make your trainees practice things in your training, that will make it permanent. Okay. Adults, the 6th principle, adults generally learn by practicing 6 times or 6 different ways. 6 times and 6 different ways. So you find out what are 6 different ways, maybe writing, maybe doing something, maybe some exercise, something. Okay. Or reviewing it. Reviewing is one of the way. So adult learners need to actively review content or actively practice skills at least 6 times and in 6 different ways. And then you will actually imprint the learning that you want people to get imprinted on their minds.
Vijay, please
yes?
excuse me. I have got guests, so I have to log out.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your participation.
I'm sorry I didn't want to. But
no problem.
I want to share the childhood things. While learning tables, we used to, while going to the school or coming back, sing the table. And that is how we have learned.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir, you can also see it in the recordings on your YouTube channel, whatever you missed. Okay. Sure. Thank you. It was really interesting having Rakesh, sir. Okay. So now teach backs. So if people have learned about this, so ask them to teach people back or review or share it. These are different ways that you can actually implement. Pair teach backs, table teach backs, okay, and class teach backs. You can ask people also to teach to the class, whatever is most learned things, okay. Examples: flashcard games, skill related skits, reading a set of slides, participating in job shadowing or on the job training, watching a topic related video. Okay, and there are many different ways. Can anybody share in this room what is a different way that you can actually ask your trainees to do? So out of this, playing a review flashcard game, is there an activity or no activity? Taking part in skill related skit, reading a set of slides, which one is active and which is not active?
I think playing review flashcard game is active. Because in agile coaching, they just keep some images and ask and try to match what is the role of a scrum master, what is the role of a product owner, something like that. So that will make people active and review what they have learned, or they are in the right stage. So what is the current state?
Very good. What's next? Taking part in skill related skit, definitely active. Reading a set of slides, is it active? Active. Activities. Watching a topic related videos.
Activity, I think. Yeah, reading a set of slides, I don't know. No.
It's boring. It's not an activity. Okay.
Correct.
Participating in a job shadowing, definitely an activity. Watching a topic related video, you never know. Sometimes I know some people who also sleep in the theaters watching a video. So
yeah, but if the topic is interesting, correct? For example, like if you are in a training and the video is related to that training, so we are in the learning mode, and the video is related to the topic what the trainer is trying to say, like talking about the eagle. So what are the nature, and there is a cycle, so which has a different thing initially, like unlearning and learning, correct? So those kind of videos usually we are more interested, and it is aligned to what we are learning.
Absolutely.
During the workshop. So
absolutely. Well, Vijay, very good. But you started your sentence with one word called if.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because you put topic related video, so it's not like any video or any entertainment video, right? So okay.
If. I absolutely agree with you, but there is an if.
Okay, understand. Yeah.
So when you are asking them to practice, bodies should move. Body should move happily, interestingly, to do something. If people are creative in their own capacity. Like the one on the right side, if you see, ask them to create something, review something, do some exercise.
Okay.
That creates an interest. Also think about what is the group size, time available, physical space, content complexity. So based on that, you can use your own exercises. You can create your own exercises. If the group is actually too big, okay, in that case, maybe creating content and sharing it, everyone sharing it may not be possible. Okay, so you'll have to make utilization of what resources that you have with you. Based on that, you'll have to make a decision. So whatever you learned in step 3, please write one sentence summary. And share if you want to share. Yeah. Sorry, I see Satya, you have raised your hand. I just missed it before. Was that for a question?
No. It was not for the question. Actually, you were asking
I
to
asked.
raise.
Okay,
Sure.
Thank you. So, yeah, anybody can share what is the sentence that you have written?
Let the participant actively do that. And learning 6 times and 6 different ways is part of adult learning to learn any new stuff.
Okay. Make them practice what they have learned. Okay. Interesting way. Add interesting way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting and active. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Again. Stretch back. Everyone. Let more oxygen flow in. And now tell me, what are the 3 steps? What are the 3 steps? Anyone?
Okay. First, get them connected.
Connected to?
And connecting to the connection, meaning one participant to another participant or participants. Number 3, let them do it, meaning interestingly, actively, let the participant do the activities.
Okay, guys, anyone else like to add? Number 1, connect to the topic by asking them what you already know about the topic and the people around. Okay. Number 2, ask them to set the goal. What do they want to learn about the topic? Setting A and B. Okay. Third, whatever they have learned during this process, ask them to practice it by practice. Okay. And step 4, stand back and applaud. Whatever they have learned so far, write a statement comparing what you knew about how adults learn with what you now know. Okay, so appreciate the learning in the process that they have done. Okay, so can anybody tell what you have learned so far about adults learning? Prudvi, Casey, Narendra, Satya, Jaskirat, anyone?
The best way to learn is switch back to your childhood days. I think the learning power of an adult is far less than, actually studies also show actually a 6-year-old has got 100% learning more capability. And as we grow with age, it reduces.
Yeah.
And so we need to rewind multiple times, which we have learned maybe once when we were children.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, the next step is ask them about the actionable, what they are going to do with it. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you, with the learnings that we have learned today, Satya, what are you going to do with the learnings?
Practice.
Practice. Okay, good.
Implement when there is opportunity, correct? When you have opportunity to present, so that particular time you can use this logic, or you can organize your the training content with this sequence and make sure the objective is achieved or not here.
Very good. Okay, so what I'm asking you now, create an action plan. Since this is online and with time bound, I'm not going to everyone here. Okay, but what I asked you to create an action plan, however I asked you and mentally you created. Maybe you can write, if you are a trainer, if you are a presenter, any point of time in your projects, in your associations with any client or something like that, make a note and make an action plan. I am going to practice 1, 2, 3, 4 things in my training. Okay, create an action plan. And yes, celebrate. Thank you so much, guys. It was really, really wonderful learning with you, all of you guys. Interesting. Okay, and I think you are going to implement this in your practices, and definitely if you implement it, you will get a lot of applause. So I'm showing you a future state. If you implement these practices, the way I'm getting appreciations, the way I'm getting my own business in topics like I'm teaching Scrum, Kanban, SAFe. However, some of the content heavy trainings are a little content heavy trainings. That times you will find it difficult, but still number one principle that I implement is prioritizing my content and based on that implementing those principles. Okay. Sure. Yes. Yes. So action plan. So Vijay, what is your action plan you said?
Okay, whenever there's opportunity, as you mentioned, as a trainer or a presenter, implement these steps in that particular content. Basically organize the training content aligned to this 4 C's and try to do the activity, make the participant active and make it interesting. So in that way, we can practice, implement in our day-to-day life, and we can practice it to become master by using this technique.
Awesome. Prudvi, you want to say something? Okay. So guys, let me tell you, I have behaved the way I was in 2014 as a presenter. Same energy, same kind of language, no intonation much, something, but I still made it learning for you, right? Did you learn some things?
It was touched in DevOps leader training actually. So
okay.
There is, yeah, that's good.
Okay, so I didn't use my energy today. High energy trainings exhausts me a lot. Whenever I do high energy trainings, people applaud me. But I have seen whatever registered in people's mind is less. But whenever I use such techniques, learning is more. Okay, people getting 100% marks in my trainings has become more synonymous nowadays than earlier. Earlier also people used to appreciate my trainings because of my high energy, but now learnings are more with this new technique. Okay. So yes, with these techniques, it was a very simple presentation, only 4 steps that you know. Okay, if you implement it, your life would be awesome. Yeah, so there's a way to go. Any questions, any answers before I close this session?
Yeah, more of a personal question, but yeah, where did you work earlier?
I worked with various companies. Like I also worked with Siemens. That was the longest tenure that I worked with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Vijay. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, Subhash.
Hi. Apart from the 4 C's, there are 6 principles that we generally associate with the back of the room training. Would you be covering that in the passing?
Yes. Not today, but maybe the second session we will cover about those 6 topics.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Subhash. Thanks, Satya.
Thanks. Hey, good, Vijay. Good coverage. Yeah, actually, I'm Satya, and I've been working with Infosys for the last 15 years, and I take care of safe line of business, coaching, and everything. And yeah, it helped me basically, of course, I do most of the things, and it helped me basically revalidate the way I'm teaching it.
So, Satya, I don't know whether we crossed the road, but I taught various consultants in your organization, Kanban, SAFe, and Scrum. And I was also called to one of your conferences in Infosys. So I seriously don't know where we crossed the paths.
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah. We'll do something more as well now.
Sure.
I'm based out of Hyderabad, but yeah, if there's something which you can do, let me know.
In Hyderabad also, I train people on Kanban and various other aspects in Infosys. Anyway, so I have given my number here. Okay. Guys, thank you so much. It was really wonderful having you in this session. And you already know maybe about our YouTube channel. It's by Agile Waters Consulting as a name, and you can just go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That would be really a good appreciation for all of us. So as like we have sessions every Saturday, same time, same location. Every Saturday means every Saturday. Today was someone else's session. He or she couldn't join and I had to step in because we want to make sure that every Saturday there is a session. Number 2, same location in the same Zoom link. It doesn't change. And same time, Indian Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Vijay, before you close, one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The third C, generally you present a use case of the concept, right? And many times, like you said, and you've covered that, for some of the content heavy coverage, especially let's say for say if you're doing something for, I mean, just as an example, I'm just throwing it up, in the event that we have to cover agile software engineering, how would you, for those sort of very comprehensive coverage, how would you bring in a use case, especially following the third C of these 4 C's that you enumerated? Any elaboration would be appreciated.
Sure. So Subhash, I'm not going there. I am parking this question because we have not yet covered all the 4 C's absolutely by TBR way. Okay. We've just connected to the adult learning. There are 4 steps, not directly to 4 C's as on today. But definitely, as I told you, one of the way rather than completely answering, one of the way is I prioritize my content because I also train SAFe. I prioritize and value my content. Okay, what is the content that I'm going to speak, and I speak more and I implement those principles there. I don't implement to everything else. Otherwise, I won't be able to cover my contents well. I know what is the prime impactful content I want my trainees to learn when they go out of this particular room. One of the factor is also from their exam point of view. I also know as a trainer, you must be knowing that because for SAFE especially, exam is very heavy. And that wise, you also need to plan your content. So I plan my content accordingly, the time that I need to give to each content. And sometimes I also ask people to read and come back. I also give breaks, read it and come back. And I just ask the questions to those people.
Sure. Thank you. Good answer. This link will be sent out, right? The recordings of this.
Yeah, it's on our YouTube channel. If you go, if someone in the room have our YouTube channel link, please put it. You can search by Agile Waters Consulting on YouTube.
Yeah, let me do that, Vijay. Yeah, let me do that.
Thank you. That would be awesome.
Thanks, Vijay. Back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
So Vijay, I believe you are covering and you have taken a very interesting topic, and as usual, you have done it in a very nice way. Thanks for the content. Yeah, it was interesting.
Thank you, Vijay, and good to see you back.
Yeah, I traveled to India actually, so I was not able to join. That's why I came back last week and again started participating. Yeah.
So you're in Singapore now?
Yes.
Awesome, guys. And we didn't really. Yeah,
I've shared the link. Just have a look at it, everyone. The link of the channel is there.
Sure. So you will find all the videos since last 1.5 years, how many sessions that has happened. You will find it there. Please subscribe. And what is the button that people call to click?
Subscribe only, correct?
No, subscribe. Apart from that, there's one. Like. Okay. And what else?
Like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe is the main part actually.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, what I did again? I know this, but what I did again?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Practical implementation of TBR.
Exactly. People already know. Let them share, And there's a simple way. You need not have very jazzy techniques of as you were telling before. Okay, guys.
One suggestion, maybe in the presentation, correct? Maybe in the top we can put what is the topic. Maybe people joining late, so we are in the middle, correct? So if possible, you can connect all the slide with one title or left side. Where are we? What was covered? Something like that. So
awesome. Thanks. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you. Mapping. Yeah. Thanks, Vijay. I would do that in my next session. Sure. Thank you. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining in. Please join us on our YouTube channel. And if you have any topics that to present, I have already given my number. Please share with us if you have an interesting topic to share or any learnings. In fact, if you read a book which is really interesting, and if you want to have a session and you would like to tell the world that this is what I learned from that book, interesting, please tell us. This is the number. It's also on WhatsApp. And yeah, we'll see you next Saturday, same time, same location. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Thanks, Vijay, for the wonderful session. Bye. Have a great weekend ahead. I know it's raining in Pune, but yeah, we'll enjoy the rains. Yeah.
Thanks, Vijay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.